Welcome to 100 Yards of Sports today, as we're going to do our special recap draft show as we do every week. Today's team that we're going to recap is going to be the Carolina Panthers in the NFC South. And then we got a special edition that we're going to talk about. We don't like to talk about people's money, but today we got to. We got to talk about Matt Ryan, the quarterback of the Atlanta Falcons. Can I say a very rich young man? He's going to be our second special segment today here on 100 Yards of Sports. I'm your host, Vincent Turner. Joining me today is a very talented, my man from the Student Athlete Playbook, Mr. Barry Brown. So, for further ado, let's get this party started as we're going to talk about the Carolina Panthers. First round pick, 24th overall selection. They took the wide receiver out of Maryland, DJ Moore.
Man, I love Mr. Moore, Mr. Football. When you start talking about DJ, you're talking about a game breaker. You've mentioned this in several shows about a young man that caught passes from 4 different quarterbacks.
I've been saying that all year long.
At the University of Maryland. So now he goes to one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL, Cam Newton, who's looking for a playmaker. And I think this is a great fit for the Carolina Panthers.
When you look at DJ Moore, as I told you before, there were some people who were saying he was the best overall wide receiver in the draft, right. A guy that could be a punt returner, kick returner, has skills there. But the most impressive fact that you brought up, he played with 4 different quarterbacks this year at the University of Maryland, still put up 1,000 yards receiving. I compare him to a miniature Steve Smith, a former great Carolina Panther. The second round, the Panthers took speed. Dante Jackson out of LSU. I don't understand some LSU. For them to not to win an SEC championship,
isn't that amazing?
They put a lot of players in the league the last few years. Duke Riley, Deion Jones, Kendrick Beckwith, Eric Reed, Mo Claiborne.
No
now they put Dante Jackson in the league. Very fast guy, one of the fastest quarterbacks in the draft. To me, the only knock with him, Coach Brown, and I'm going to call you today, he needs to gain weight.
Well, you're just talking about size, man. You're talking about 5'11", 175 pounds. I was a small corner in high school. Mm-hmm. I was a small corner in college. Shout out to the Presbyterian College Blue Hose. Listen, man, he's going to have to get bigger, brother, because when those big receivers come out those breaks. Matter of fact, I didn't get to the break part. When them big receivers come off the line of scrimmage, if he plays any kind of jam coverage, man, they're going to blow by him. They're going to push him off, use their hands to chop away, and they might be gone, brother. So, yeah, he's going to have to definitely beef up. And the key thing for him is his strength. But here's where it all makes sense, baby. Just where it all makes sense.
I know you're
talking about a young man that's running a 4.3, basically a 4.29, but he ran a 4.31, and you're talking about blazing fast. So if anybody gets past him, he does have the ability to catch up. It's just going to be with his technique, put him in position to be effective at the NFL level.
Third round, the Panthers stayed in the defensive backfield.
Yes, sir.
They went to my home state, the University of Tennessee, took Rashad Gallman.
Yes.
What I like about Mr. Gallman, very versatile. Played the slot, played both safety positions in college, and played the boundary corner. Very versatile football player. Yes, I always tell people this, when you look at these players that get drafted, take their best game film. Granted, he didn't play. This team didn't play well against Alabama this past season, but go look at the game film. Yeah. Had an interception return for a touchdown and had a lot of tackles in their game.
Well, matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, I think that was the only touchdown they scored in that game.
That's correct. You are right.
So he stood out tremendously in that game.
They got beat 45-7 to be more correct.
Right.
So he got shots today.
No,
I'm a Tennessee fan.
I'm not gonna mess with your balls. I'm not gonna mess with your ball. They got to regroup, and that's what they're gonna do. But let me say something about this young man.
Yes, sir.
I think this is a young man that showed a lot of character. He had an issue. Matter of fact, I think after that game, he did a obscene gesture. But at the combine and in his interviews with teams, he stood up like a man, took accountability for his actions, and hey, this man got drafted in the 3rd round. So I wish him a lot of success, and most likely they're going to switch him to safety when he gets to the NFL. I can see that happening for this young man.
fourth round pick. They took Ian Thomas, tight end out of the University of Indiana. A lot of people say he's the best run blocking tight end in the draft.
Yes.
When you look at it, I think it'll be an excellent fit because he'll team up with a very savvy veteran, Greg Olsen. And Carolina, when you look at it, Cam Newton got hit a lot. They need to keep the ball on the ground, run the football with Christian McCaffrey. Then hopefully Curtis Samuel could come back and get some carries. Ian Thomas will be an excellent fit from a blocking standpoint.
Man, this might be, honestly, the best pick of the draft, to be honest with you. And I'll say this. Olsen missed like 9 games this past season.
That's correct.
So you're talking about a 33-year-old Greg Olsen, and he's a great player. Might have Hall of Fame numbers if I go down and look at him. He may be a Hall of Famer, but he's getting older. They have to find a tight end that's going to come in, be able to learn under him, and then take advantage of the playing time he gets. And here's the good thing about this pick right here. The Carolina Panthers like to run a lot of 2 tight end sets. So he is going to get on the field early, and he'll have a chance to make some plays. And if he does that, look for an early retirement for Greg Olsen.
The fourth, they stayed. They had another fourth round pick that took Marcus Haynes out of University of Ole Miss, defensive end linebacker. Basically, this guy probably would have got drafted higher. Weight issues was a concern to him. He's only 6'3", 225 pounds, but he's a guy that can get after the passer. One of the best pass rushers in the draft. Last year, had 8 sacks at the University of Ole Miss, had 10.5 that's the year before. He's a guy, if it wouldn't been for his weight, say he would have came in 6'3", 260, 270, well, no doubt he'll be a high draft pick. We talking probably mid-second round, maybe late first. But I like this pick because he's a guy that get out the pass, and you know Carolina, they've always had great pass rushers in the past years. Charles Johnson, Julius Peppers, Starlo Tooney, the defensive tackle.
Yes.
This is a guy that can fit real good with the Panthers from a defensive standpoint. Then you're looking at Luke Kuechly and Thomas Davis. And think about this, your new $100 million man, Matt Ryan, is going to be throwing the ball a lot. So they're going to need somebody to get upfield.
Most definitely. Well, this guy, he's definitely going to get drafted, and I agree with you. He would have got drafted earlier. But here's the specialness about this young man. He holds Ole Miss's modern-day sack record with 32 career sacks. And guess whose record he broke? Greg Hardy, a former Carolina Panther. So they've been looking at this young man. They feel comfortable with this young man, and look for this young man to make a lot of plays for the Carolina Panthers. Just don't do it against the Atlanta Falcons, Mr. Haynes. That's all.
Then we're going to move to the 5th round. The Panthers went back into the University of Maryland playbook. They took Jeremiah Carter, linebacker out of Maryland. A guy that a lot of people weren't making a lot of noise before the draft, but he's a guy that's very productive. Had a lot of tackles, a little bit undersized, but goes sideline to sideline, very fast. In the same motives of Thomas Davis, and the same motives of Luke Kuechly, and the same motives of Shaq Thompson, and a guy that can probably get on the field in certain situations. And a guy that, when you look at it, I hate to keep bringing up the Falcons and their explosive offense. That's right, the Falcons are going to be having explosive offense this year.
No doubt.
You're going to have to need guys on the field that can run.
Right. Well, you had to go get some linebacker help. You're looking at Thomas Davis is missing the first. Yeah, he's definitely getting older, and he's going to be missing the first 4 games this year because he got suspended for performance-enhancing drugs. I believe,
really?
if I'm not mistaken. Yes, sir. So then you have
Thomas
Luke
on
Kuechly.
that juice, huh? I mean,
Hey man, it's popping up everywhere. You saw what just happened with
Mark
Ingram.
Wow.
So definitely it was a good pick for the Carolina Panthers because Luke Kuechly was on concussion protocol the last 3 seasons. He's been having concussion problems. So you don't know if the next hit he takes, would that be the end of his career? So you have to get some young talent like Jermaine Carter Jr. from the University of Maryland to come in there and be ready to play. So look for him to give a lot of value on special teams initially, and then look for this young man to break the starting lineup.
And finally, we're going to end the Carolina Panthers draft with their 2 last pick of the draft. In the 6th round, we had Andre Smith, linebacker out of North Carolina. Excellent run stuffer. And then we had Kendrick Norton, defensive tackle out of Miami. What I like about him, an 81 fourth wingspan. So that ends our talk about the Carolina Panthers and their 2018 NFL draft. Now we're going to go into the special today. And I really took the special day based on this young man's opinion and his observation. He said that we needed to take a segment out and talk about what's hot now. And I don't like to talk about people money, but bling bling bank account. Matt Ryan the new richest player in NFL history.
Yeah.
What did he get? 150, right? With
$150 million contract, $100 million guaranteed. Bling bling.
Can you say that
bank
G,
account?
Can you say that G word again? Guaranteed.
Guaranteed $100 million. Now, before we get started, Mr. Football, let's tell our audience, when you visit the Atlanta Voice Facebook page,
Yes,
we
sir.
need you to like the page, comment on the page, and share the page. We are 100 Yards of Sports, and we are here to give you the best news in sports. You know?
Okay, now, when you look at Matt Ryan getting this contract,
Yes, sir.
there's a lot of people out there that felt like that he just didn't deserve the money. But I'm going to say this from my standpoint, I'm going to leave it at this. He happened to be in the right place at the right time. That's what the market bears.
No question.
He's been a guy that's been here 10 years.
Yes, sir.
Probably and arguably the greatest player in Falcons history, like it or not.
Very well could be.
He's done what a lot of quarterbacks haven't done. He's gotten his team to the Super Bowl, into the NFC Championship game.
Yes, sir.
And he's been consistent. And the one thing that I'm going to put out there, I know that people out there that's been really, really intimate in the media saying that he was no way athletically compared to, I'm not going to say the gentleman's name, but I'm going to say number 7 and leave it at that. But
Yes,
the
sir.
one thing that I have to say about Matt Ryan is that before he became the quarterback for the Falcons and he got under center, the Falcons never had back-to-back winning seasons.
That's very
And
true.
in this league, you could talk about numbers, you could talk about excitement, you could talk about putting people in the stands, but it's all about winning.
Right.
And right now, when you look at the Atlanta Falcons, their team coming in 2018 might have the best offense in the league,
Right.
and I think got one of the most outstanding young coaches in Dan Quinn. And a lot of that's been centered around Matt Ryan. To me, he's deservingly, regardless if he's a top 3 quarterback, top 5, he deserves his money.
Oh, well, you said something at the beginning of the conversation. Timing. Timing is everything. Just like we saw Matthew Stafford get his money.
Correct.
He was the top paid quarterback in the league at one time. Then we just saw Garoppolo get $79 million guaranteed. Then we saw Kirk Cousins get $84 million guaranteed. So in the natural progression of quarterbacks in the NFL, Matt Ryan had to get more money than Kirk Cousins. So they gave him $100 million guaranteed. And then what we'll see with Aaron Rodgers will probably get the 150 guaranteed. So it's just the natural progression of money. And hey, man, he's one of the top quarterbacks in the league.
And I'd even say this: somebody brought up a good point. When you look at it, I don't even really know if you could say Aaron Rodgers should be paid higher than Matt Ryan, because if you look at Matt Ryan, he spanked that tail the last
two, 3 times. I think 3 times in a row.
He spanked that tail in the NFC Championship game.
No question.
And then he spanked that tail regular season last year.
But you know what? Hold on, Mr. Football. You know what everybody's going to say.
But I'm just saying this.
Matt Ryan
okay.
does not have a ring.
Okay, that's right.
That's going to be the issue. That's why everybody's saying that he should not have received this money, but it's not based on that. That's the problem.
And what I'm saying, if you look at how long has it been since Aaron Rodgers and won that ring?
I agree with you.
That's been what, 2010, 2011?
Yes, sir.
I'm even gonna say this: if I had to start a team today, I don't know if I really would be. Oh, I'm taking Aaron Rodgers so much over Matt Ryan.
Well, let me ask you this, Mr. Football.
Matt Ryan and won, man.
Let me ask you this: who's younger, Matt Ryan or Aaron Rodgers?
Matt Ryan.
That might be the answer right there, brother. You have to take the one that is younger and that's going to give you more time on the field, and that's definitely something that Matt Ryan has done. He took the most snaps out of any quarterback last season.
And that concludes our show today here on 100 Yards of Sports. I'm Vincent Turner. Joining today has been my man, the very talented Barry Brown. My final words: look alive, 901 Chevy Drive. See you next week.
And remember, like the page, comment the page, comment on the page, and share the page. We are 100 Yards of Football.